Have you ever found yourself in a relationship where something just felt off? That nagging feeling in your gut, those subtle cues that whisper warnings you're tempted to ignore? We've all been there. It's easy to get swept up in the initial romance, to overlook the cracks in the foundation, or to rationalize away behaviors that genuinely concern us. But what if those little things are actually significant red flags, signaling deeper issues that could lead to heartache down the line? Understanding these warning signs isn't about being cynical. It's about cultivating wisdom and self-respect. It's about knowing when to pause, reflect, and protect your peace. In this piece, we'll explore 7 crucial red flags that, rooted in both ancient Stoic wisdom and modern psychological insights, you simply shouldn't ignore in any relationship. Subscribe to ensure you don't miss out on more valuable insights like these. 1. The constant need for control and manipulation. One of the most insidious red flags is a partner's consistent need to control aspects of your life, often through subtle manipulation rather than overt demands. This isn't about healthy boundaries or mutual respect. It's about one person dictating the terms of the relationship and your individual autonomy. Psychologically, this behavior often stems from insecurity and a deep-seated fear of abandonment or loss of power. They might try to control who you spend time with, what you wear, your finances, or even your thoughts and feelings. The manipulation can be covert: guilt-tripping, passive aggression, gaslighting. That never happened, you're imagining things. Or playing the victim to elicit sympathy and compliance. They might subtly undermine your confidence or isolate you from your support system, making you more reliant on them. From a Stoic perspective, this behavior directly assaults your inner citadel, your capacity for rational thought, free will, and self-governance. Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control, our judgments, desires, and actions, and what is outside of it, other people's opinions, external events. When a partner attempts to control your sphere of influence, they are encroaching upon your most sacred possession, your inner freedom. Epictetus emphasized that true freedom comes from wanting things to be as they are, rather than demanding they conform to our desires, and from understanding that others' actions are their own, not ours to command. A partner who seeks to control you is fundamentally disrespecting your autonomy and attempting to impose their will on your own, which is a recipe for resentment and a profound loss of self. Recognizing this red flag means understanding that a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect and the celebration of individual freedom, not on one person's dominance over another. 2. A lack of empathy and emotional invalidation. Empathy is the cornerstone of human connection, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. When a partner consistently demonstrates a lack of empathy or, even worse, actively invalidates your emotions, it's a blaring red flag. This can manifest as dismissing your feelings, you're overreacting, belittling your concerns, that's a silly thing to be upset about, or turning every discussion back to their own experiences without acknowledging yours. They might struggle to comfort you when you're distressed, show indifference to your struggles, or be unable to genuinely apologize because they can't grasp the impact of their actions on you. Psychologically, a deficit in empathy can be indicative of various underlying issues, from narcissistic tendencies, where the focus is solely on themselves, to attachment insecurities that prevent them from connecting deeply with others' emotional states. Over time, emotional invalidation erodes your self-worth and teaches you to suppress your feelings, leading to emotional detachment and loneliness within the relationship. Stoicism, while often misunderstood as emotionless, actually advocates for understanding and managing emotions, not suppressing them. Seneca, for example, wrote extensively on compassion and friendship, emphasizing the importance of shared experiences and mutual support. While Stoics distinguish between healthy and unhealthy passions, they recognize the value of rational concern for others' well-being. A partner who lacks empathy fundamentally fails in this regard. They are unable to connect with your humanity on a meaningful level. They fail to exercise the virtue of justice, which in a relationship context includes treating your partner's feelings with due consideration and respect. When your emotions are consistently met with indifference or scorn, it prevents the development of true intimacy in partnership. It creates a dynamic where you feel perpetually misunderstood and alone, even when you're physically together. Recognizing this red flag means understanding that true partnership requires a compassionate heart and a willingness to truly see and hear each other, especially in moments of vulnerability. 3. Chronic irresponsibility and unreliability. In any relationship, trust is built on consistency and the assurance that your partner will generally follow through on their commitments. Chronic irresponsibility and unreliability, whether it's constantly breaking promises, failing to show up, or neglecting important duties, is a significant red flag that erodes this fundamental trust. This isn't about occasional mistakes or unforeseen circumstances. It's a persistent pattern. They might constantly make excuses, blame others for their shortcomings, or simply forget things that are important to you. This can extend to various areas: financial irresponsibility, neglecting shared household duties, failing to be there for you when you need support, or consistently being late without apology. Psychologically, this behavior can stem from a variety of places: immaturity, a fear of commitment, a lack of respect for your time and feelings, or even deeper issues like executive dysfunction. Regardless of the root cause, the practical impact is that you constantly feel let down, disrespected, and burdened by their failures, leading to a profound sense of instability. From a Stoic viewpoint, reliability and responsibility are expressions of virtue, particularly prudence, justice, and self-control. Prudence involves making wise choices and planning effectively, while justice demands that we uphold our agreements and treat others fairly. Self-control ensures we follow through on our intentions. A person who is chronically irresponsible demonstrates a lack of these virtues. They are not master of themselves and, by extension, cannot be a reliable partner. Marcus Aurelius frequently reminded himself of the importance of fulfilling his duties and acting with integrity, emphasizing that our character is revealed through our actions. When a partner consistently fails to meet their responsibilities, they are demonstrating a lack of respect for the shared life you are building and a disregard for the impact their actions have on you. This forces you to pick up their slack, constantly adjust your expectations, and live with an underlying anxiety about what might go wrong next. Recognizing this red flag means understanding that a healthy relationship requires two responsible adults who can consistently contribute to the partnership and be counted on when it matters most. 4. Dishonesty and a pervasive lack of transparency. Trust is the bedrock of any healthy relationship, and nothing shatters trust faster than dishonesty and a consistent lack of transparency. This red flag isn't just about outright lies. It encompasses a spectrum of deceptive behaviors, including omissions, half-truths, secretive communication, and a general reluctance to be open and honest about their lives, feelings, or past. You might catch them in small lies that don't seem to make sense, notice inconsistencies in their stories, or feel like there's always a piece of the puzzle missing. They might guard their phone obsessively, be vague about their whereabouts, or avoid direct questions. Psychologically, a pattern of dishonesty can stem from deep-seated insecurity, a fear of vulnerability, a desire to control the narrative, or even more problematic personality traits. Whatever the reason, living with a dishonest partner creates a constant state of unease, suspicion, and emotional exhaustion. You begin to doubt your own perceptions and intuition, leading to a profound sense of instability and a feeling of being perpetually in the dark. Stoicism places immense value on truth, integrity, and living in accordance with reason. For Stoics, virtue is the sole good, and honesty is a fundamental virtue. Seneca, for instance, emphasized the importance of a clear conscience and living a life free from deception, asserting that nothing is honorable unless it is honest. Marcus Aurelius continually sought to align his actions with truth and reason, understanding that a life of integrity brings inner peace. A partner who is consistently dishonest is operating outside of these core Stoic principles. They are not living authentically, and by extension, they are not allowing you to truly know them or build a genuine connection. This lack of transparency prevents true intimacy, as intimacy requires vulnerability and a willingness to be fully seen. When you cannot trust your partner's words or actions, the entire foundation of the relationship becomes unstable. You're left constantly questioning, analyzing, and fearing what you don't know, which is an unsustainable way to live. Recognizing this red flag means understanding that true love and partnership flourish in an environment of open communication, unwavering honesty, and profound trust, where both individuals feel safe to be their authentic selves. 5. Disrespect for your boundaries and personal space. Healthy relationships thrive when both partners respect each other's boundaries, both physical and emotional. A significant red flag emerges when a partner consistently disregards your boundaries, pushing past your comfort zones, dismissing your no, or encroaching on your personal space without permission. This can manifest in various ways, pressuring you into activities you're uncomfortable with, reading your private messages without consent, making unwanted physical advances, showing up unannounced, or continuing a discussion after you've asked to stop. They might rationalize their behavior. "I was just trying to be close to you. You're too sensitive," making you feel guilty for having boundaries in the first place. Psychologically, this behavior often indicates a lack of respect for your autonomy, a sense of entitlement, or a difficulty in understanding and accepting that you are a separate individual with your own needs and limits. Over time, having your boundaries repeatedly violated leads to a feeling of powerlessness, resentment, and a profound erosion of your sense of self and safety within the relationship. From a Stoic perspective, respecting boundaries is a matter of self-control, justice, and recognizing what is within your control versus what is not. While we can't control another person's desires, we are responsible for our own actions and for how we treat others. Disregarding a partner's stated boundaries is an act of injustice and a failure to exercise self-restraint. It demonstrates a lack of respect for their inner life and their personal sovereignty, which the Stoics considered paramount. Epictetus often spoke about the importance of protecting one's inner citadel, our ability to make rational judgments, and maintain our moral integrity from external pressures. When a partner consistently oversteps your boundaries, they are effectively assaulting your inner citadel, demanding access or actions that you have deemed off-limits. This is not a demonstration of love or connection. It is an assertion of power and a disregard for your well-being. Recognizing this red flag means understanding that a healthy relationship is built on mutual respect for individual autonomy, where both partners feel safe, heard, and empowered to define their own limits without fear of reprisal or guilt. 6. Persistent blame shifting and inability to take responsibility. A truly mature and healthy individual can acknowledge their mistakes, apologize sincerely, and take responsibility for their actions. A major red flag is a partner who consistently engages in blame shifting, deflecting criticism, and is fundamentally incapable of admitting fault. Every argument becomes your fault. Every problem is attributed to external circumstances or someone else's actions, and they rarely, if ever, offer a genuine apology. They might twist narratives, play the victim, or even project their own flaws onto you. Psychologically, this behavior often stems from deep-seated insecurity, a fragile ego, or even narcissistic traits. Admitting fault requires vulnerability and a willingness to confront one's imperfections, which can be profoundly threatening to individuals who rely on a carefully constructed facade of perfection. Over time, living with a blame shifter is emotionally exhausting. You constantly feel accused, misunderstood, and find yourself defending your actions and sanity, while real issues are never addressed or resolved. From a Stoic perspective, taking responsibility for one's actions and character is fundamental to living a virtuous life. Marcus Aurelius frequently examined his own conduct, striving for self-awareness and improvement. The Stoics teach that we are responsible for our judgments, reactions, and choices, and that blaming external circumstances or other people is a form of shirking our moral duty. Seneca too emphasized the importance of self-reflection and acknowledging one's shortcomings as a path to wisdom and growth. A partner who consistently blames others demonstrates a profound lack of self-awareness and a refusal to engage in the necessary work of self-improvement. They are stuck in a cycle of projection and denial, which prevents both personal growth and the healthy resolution of conflict within the relationship. If one partner is unwilling to take responsibility for their part, genuine repair and progress are impossible. Recognizing this red flag means understanding that a truly supportive and resilient partnership requires both individuals to be accountable, to learn from mistakes, and to approach challenges with a shared sense of responsibility, rather than pointing fingers. 7. Disparaging remarks and constant criticism. While constructive feedback can be valuable in a relationship, a persistent pattern of disparaging remarks, belittling comments, and constant criticism is a significant and corrosive red flag. This isn't about occasional disagreements. It's a consistent chipping away at your self-esteem, often disguised as jokes, helpful advice, or just being honest. They might criticize your appearance, intelligence, choices, career, friends, or family. They might compare you unfavorably to others, put you down in front of people, or make backhanded compliments. Psychologically, this behavior often stems from a desire to exert power and control, insecurity by making you feel smaller, they feel bigger, or a lack of genuine respect. Over time, this constant negativity erodes your confidence, makes you doubt yourself, and can lead to anxiety, depression, and a profound sense of inadequacy. You might start walking on eggshells, afraid to be yourself or express your opinions for fear of their critical backlash. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-respect, inner worth, and the cultivation of virtues like kindness and justice. They believe that our value comes from our character and our reason, not from external validation or the opinions of others. While the Stoics valued self-critique for improvement, they would condemn the unvirtuous act of intentionally tearing down another person. A partner who constantly disparages you is acting unjustly and unkindly. They are disrespecting your inherent worth as an individual and actively undermining your inner peace and confidence, which the Stoics considered essential for a good life. This behavior creates a hostile environment where love cannot truly flourish. Instead of building you up, they are tearing you down, making you feel small and unworthy. Recognizing this red flag means understanding that true love elevates and celebrates. It does not diminish. A healthy partnership should be a sanctuary of mutual respect and admiration, where both individuals feel safe to shine brightly, not dim their light to fit into another's narrow and critical view.